Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today we will be covering OpenAI's new GPT-Live voice model, xAI's launch of Grok 4.5 at a surprisingly low price, Microsoft quietly swapping OpenAI and Anthropic models out of Office apps for its own, and NVIDIA teaming up with LangChain on a new enterprise agent blueprint. Starting with OpenAI, the company rolled out GPT-Live, a new generation of voice models powering ChatGPT Voice. The big technical shift here is full duplex audio, which means the model can listen and speak at the same time. So instead of that awkward walkie-talkie feel where you wait for it to finish, you can interrupt, pause, or talk over it, and the conversation actually flows. GPT-Live 1 is now the default for paid consumer plans, and GPT-Live 1 Mini is the default for free users. Business, enterprise, and EDU workspaces are not included at launch. OpenAI says more than 150 million people use ChatGPT Voice or dictation every week, so even a default upgrade is a huge deal. The model can also hand off harder search and reasoning work to GPT 5.5 in the background while keeping the spoken conversation going, which hints at where this is heading. ChatGPT Voice product lead Adi Aleti described the bigger bet as voice becoming a primary interface to computing. It also now shows visual result cards for things like weather, stocks, and sports across iOS, Android, and web. It does not yet support voice with video or screen sharing, and TechCrunch flagged one rough edge from the demo, noting that Hindi live translation sounded unnatural and had a heavy American accent. Next up, xAI released Grok 4.5, and Elon Musk is calling it an Opus-class model, saying it is faster, more token-efficient, and lower cost. The headline is really the pricing. xAI listed it at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens, which undercuts comparable frontier tiers from Anthropic and OpenAI. If the quality holds up, that is a real squeeze on competitors in coding agents and enterprise workflows, where token cost has quietly become a boardroom-level line item. Distribution is aggressive too. Grok 4.5 is available through the xAI API, Grok Build, Cursor, Office add-ins, OpenRouter, Vercel, Cloudflare, Snowflake, and Databricks Mosaic. xAI says it was trained in its Memphis data centers on new datasets spanning science, engineering, and math. Developer reaction on Reddit zeroed in on the benchmark charts, and some noted that xAI's own comparisons included strong open-weight competitors like GLM 5.2, which is a telling choice. EU API console availability is expected later in July. Moving on to Microsoft, Bloomberg reported that Microsoft has quietly started replacing OpenAI and Anthropic models with its own in-house MAI models inside apps like Excel and Outlook. Tens of thousands of prompts a week are already being handled by Microsoft's own models rather than routed out to its partners. Remember, Microsoft is OpenAI's most important partner and just added Anthropic to Copilot recently, so this is notable. Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman has framed this effort as being about long-term self-sufficiency and building models Microsoft and its partners can trust. At Build in June, the company unveiled 7 homegrown models, including MAI Thinking 1, MAI Code 1 Flash, and MAI Image 2.5. Asked for comment, Microsoft told TechCrunch it had nothing further to share, which is its own kind of statement. Reddit reaction was fairly pragmatic. Users largely saw this as expected cost optimization, though some raised concerns about quality dropping and about opaque changes to the model picker inside Copilot. The pattern this points to is likely the enterprise default going forward. Use frontier models where they clearly matter and route the everyday spreadsheet and email prompts to cheaper owned models. Finishing up, NVIDIA and LangChain launched something called the NemoClaw Deep Agents Blueprint, which is aimed at companies building their own agents. It combines LangChain's Deep Agents code framework, NVIDIA's Nemotron 3 Ultra open weight model, and NVIDIA's OpenShell secure runtime. The pitch is that teams can tune agents, run them in a sandbox, and balance quality, cost, and speed without being locked into a black box hosted assistant. The interesting claim here is about what LangChain calls the harness, meaning all the scaffolding around the model, the tools, the context, the prompts, middleware, and evaluation loops. LangChain's line is that model choice is only one part of improving agent performance. In their eval suite, Nemotron 3 Ultra with a tuned harness scored 0.86 at a cost of about $4 and change versus over $43 for the next closest model on that benchmark. NVIDIA also showed a smaller example where simply adding a read file middleware step nudged agent reliability up meaningfully without retraining the underlying model at all. For enterprises that want auditable, swappable, governed agents, that is a very different architecture than just calling a frontier API, and it signals that open models plus better scaffolding are becoming a serious option for real production workloads.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.